I'm Raul Ruiz. I'm going to read a couple poems from a few projects I've been working on. Here we go. My dear electrolyte, or 19 cups of coffee, to say nothing of the dislocated heart, or I ride my bicycle to nowhere and pretend half the sky is tied to my handlebars and thus going fast holds the stars in place, or the entire building evictions of poor immigrant families in the Mission District of SF because new oxygen is being made, or the police shoots a young dude on Bernal Heights Park as the sun watches, all ears, or I write to you in direct proportion to the stubbornness of my knees, or I'm dancing like a sad noodle in the wind and a Richter scale notices somewhere. The architecture of sudden noise, Raul. My dear electrolyte, the dog outside, if he's barking from hunger, resembles my intestinal flora. If the dog outside is barking from a green desire to run and face a different side of the unerring moon, then he resembles my broken shoes. The dog outside, if his name can be spelled with letters of infraction, then we sustain a separate lung system in the American sky. The poor dog outside, if he can't be seen, must be spoken about with onomatopoeic emphasis. Overseeing the production of buzzing dandelion seeds, Raul. Read one more from the section and then I'll jump into something else. My dear electrolyte, I write to you with brute strength despite the stomachache of my saddest tooth. I don't suppose the semicolon of your name lacks the adhesive nature of each kiss to string separate conceptual wholenesses into a whole luminous and snow and encouraging new solar systems to go, go, go on the corner of Persia and Mission. I often wonder, riding the BART to nowhere, how I'm to participate in this, our shared empty space, how to hold my hand out and wait for another, knowing this is the truth behind flowers and breathing, across the board, over lands unseen and familiar, sustaining matrices with encouraging smiles, Raul. My dear electrolyte, don't mention the cost of living, don't mention the yearning of fog, don't mention the soup dumplings of the inner sunset, don't mention how fast it takes to go fast, walking uphill late for something, don't mention the bridges, the scattered lights, don't mention the myriad high points of the city where everything stretches at 360 degrees, don't mention Los Angeles, don't mention my parents, don't mention the avocado tree in our backyard my mom sends me avocados from. Don't mention their frail voices going old. Don't mention Tommy's Burgers. Don't mention my pop's hands. Don't mention my mom's TV glowing with novelas. Don't mention the port of Long Beach. Don't mention the smog of purple evenings. The color of each kiss I've tasted since I was young. Arid at the salt glands, Raul. My dear electrolyte, my room all four walls and a window and almost always beer. I read a book the other day, like blam, about a boat out to sea to catch a whale and all the navigators strangers to each other and the sea infinite with different names for salt. The stucco on my walls and ceiling shapes like barefoot children or utter cars, all speed and bendy. I'm not convinced half the time that picking up a book won't lead me to the coffee breath of my pops, the loneliness of my mom, the sky over their house. Maybe half the world is in untangling the letters, each word waiting to speak an otherwise arid desert you cross and sponge up the silence therein and go mute for the rest of your life. Ask my folks, find a language, go ahead and ask them. Narrativizing the DNA of sudden tomorrows, Raul. Should I read maybe one more?
Sure.
My dear electrolyte, the affiliation here requires what 3 ears, what warm violet words to talk about the small kiss on the cheek I got from an old grandmother once for interpreting real quick her landlady's frantic plea to watch out if she sees a gray cat with a blue collar, to please call her please. What string to tie these words to each other? I am here and far away. A transient random noise burst, Raul. Thank you.